Hello, this is Richard Ricucci. I'm here today with Councilwoman Pauline Ricucci and candidate for District 2 Roseville City Council to answer some important questions for today. And the first question, Pauline, could you please tell us your district voters why you're running for the Roseville City Council?
Oh, thank you. That's a good question. I've been a registered nurse for over 45 years, and I work with people, and I like serving people and helping people. And that's what I find that I'm doing on the city council for over 21 years. Answering questions, helping people in directions here around Roseville of how to make the city easy to use. I've lived here in my district way over 20 years. I've lived here all my life in District 2, which is the center of Roseville, and I call it the heart of Roseville. And many of the houses over are 50 to 100 years old. And I'm very aware of what's happening in the city of Roseville and all outlying areas. I've had the opportunity to be on Planning Commission and Placer County Water Agency and understand the use of our water and where we get our contracts. And this has helped me be a better council member and help serve the community well.
So in a nutshell, maybe that you want to also preserve the quality of life that we all enjoy. Is that correct? We lived there all our lives.
Yes, we've seen it. We've seen it grown. We've seen the good things that have happened in Roseville right now, and this is what we want to continue, this good quality of life.
Okay, question number 2 here is all about public safety, and there's a lot of concern about the crime wave we seem to see across California nation. What is your position on public safety and first responders?
I'm very supportive of police and fire in our community. Matter of fact, if we didn't have a safe and healthy community, which are my 2 high priorities, we really wouldn't have a city. I've been on the council. Not only am I supportive of it, I'm along with the council members are funding it. We just hired 12 new police officers, 10 sworn and 2 that are professional staff. And we also added 8 more firefighters. And next year we'll have a new fire station along with 8 more fire officers as well. If we don't have a safe community, we don't have a community. You don't want to walk downtown without feeling that you're not safe. And we are safe, and I'm very thankful to have police and fire. I'm also very thankful and grateful that they are endorsing me for my candidacy for Roseville City Council.
And in their efforts, they use quite a bit of high-tech equipment, like I think license plate readers and some other things that really help them apprehend these criminals that are mainly from out of town right away.
Yeah, it's called like point in time, and they can get a call from another area or in Roseville or from another out of the city, and they can go to a certain corner and pinpoint it and make a real difference on catching these criminals. And by the way, who really help us also is our community. So just like we have neighborhood watch, if you see something that's unusual, give a call to the police department and the non-emergency number. Although if you think it's emergent, please use the 911. And many crimes have been solved because our community is a team, and you work together and you help us keep the criminals out of Roseville as well.
Well, taxes and money are on everybody's mind these days for sure. So how do you view the role of council member as relates to fiscal responsibility?
I think it's paramount. I said that police and fire and having a safe community is a very high priority of mine, which is true. Right underneath that is being fiscally sound in uncertain economic times. So always being aware of what's going on. I have with me a little booklet that we have at the City of Roseville. It's called Budget in Brief, and we go over the budget literally every month. Once it's been finalized in May and June, it's back looking again to what do we need to do for the next year. And what we do for our council is we set priorities for the next year, and with the help of the community. Community input on our priorities, community input on our budget, to make sure that we're looking at and going in the right direction. So that's very important to me. And one thing I've been hearing these thoughts that people say that Roseville raises taxes. You know, Roseville's a city. Cities don't raise taxes. I think most of us know that. It's the state and federal government that raises taxes. And then if you see that there's a school bond on to vote for, or a measure, the community people decide whether they want to put that on, and if they feel that's important to have that put on, and that's how that cost occurs. Roseville doesn't raise taxes. Roseville, that's not our job. That's not even something we look at. Matter of fact, we have a small stipend that we get monthly. That was put on by the charter that the people voted for. So if we wanted to raise our salary, we can't do that. It's up to the community to put it on the ballot and decide. Yeah, that's a whole different department.
So you're trying to tell me that this tremendous rise in gas prices and our groceries at the store is not a result of City of Roseville taxes or policies. It's basically failed policies at the state and national level. I mean,
Yep.
that's where that comes from. So it's not our fault or your fault or the city's fault.
That's out of the City of Roseville's control. Obviously, it doesn't help any of us to have those high prices, and we are looking at any way that we can help, encourage our state and federal government to reverse some of that. But those are not anything that the City of Roseville or any city inflicts on its people.
And is your budget balanced this year?
Yeah, my budget is balanced this year. I've been on the council over 21 years. It's balanced every year, and they're different. I've been on council when we're in a recession. I've been here, you saw, with COVID. You see when times are good. So all those times we balance budgets with different circumstances around us. We just have to look at the circumstances, but it is balanced.
Okay, another important issue to the community is this issue of homelessness and unhoused people. What's the status of the homeless population in the city of Roseville? People I know look at the news every night and they see this homelessness running rampant in different cities like Sacramento, San Francisco, Los Angeles. What's our status here in Roseville, and what are we doing to help these people, unfortunate people?
Our population has pretty much stayed the same, about 200, plus or minus, about 200. And what we've done is work in a little more of an unusual way. We have the police officers and social workers working together. And when they go to some of the camps to figure out what are some of the issues that bring them there. Is it housing? Is it the fact that they need mental health? Do they have alcohol problems? What can we do to get them off the streets and make their lives better and just make it a better community for all of us? And so having the social workers have really made a difference. We also have a lot of organizations in the city, nonprofits, Salvation Army, Gathering In, St. Vincent de Paul, the food bank. A lot of members and churches have worked together to help people and help them to with a hand up and to get out of homelessness. And we also have the county. We work very closely with the county and the other cities and working across the borders on helping each other. We have a new psychiatric unit the county put in Roseville that literally is a walk-in, so you don't have to necessarily have insurance, and you can get firsthand help at the door.
But what happens if a resident were to call in if they see more than a single homeless person? In other words, I'm thinking about a small encampment. If they call the city, what's the city's response on that?
That's a good question. If you see something, or maybe a new camp or something that wasn't there, you can call in the city and say, hey, I see it, and give the location. And that might be something for the city to look into. It might be something new. And along that same line, if you see graffiti or trash or a shopping cart that's not in a shopping center out of place, give a call to the city, because we have code enforcement people that specifically now are going out and marking this, taking care of it, and especially with the camps, we'll know where they are and how we can best work with that new camp and see if we can maybe get them out of being camping and helping them have a better life.
Now, people throw around the term quality of life. What does that mean, quality of life? Then we all enjoy the quality of life in Roseville. I think we all say it to us people who have lived here for a little while. What does that actually mean?
Well, I think I'll go back to what I said, my premises that I feel is most important for Roseville. It's a safe and healthy community, and also being fiscally sound in uncertain times. I think that's a base right there. Then you look at Roseville, our climate where we are is fine. People, when they come here, they look to see how the schools are. Do we have hospitals here? Do we have jobs here? Those are important. They also look at what we have with our park, recreation, and libraries. What amenities do we have for not only kids but adults? A lot of people like sports, and we have a lot of games that are going on here. And we're actually having a new stadiums being built in West Roseville specifically for new competitive games. That's a real hit for people. People play from lacrosse, hockey to soccer to cheer. There's all kinds of things going on in Roseville. But also, I think they like knowing when they come to Roseville, we have our own services in Roseville. And what that means that police are, like I said, police, fire, but it's also water, it's electricity, it's sewer, and it's those things that we own and that we can make sure that they're reliable and the price is good. And we're not only competitive with our areas, but we're lower than PG&E in our region.
Yeah, and the important part there is that you know who's providing the services. You make a local phone call. You're not getting some operator someplace distant that doesn't know one thing about Roseville's utilities. But how many parks do we have in Roseville? I heard that we had quite a few.
Oh, you're right. We actually just dedicated our 81st park, and they're all over Roseville, and they're very unique and they're really fun. And we have a park trail, bike trails here, and all that. When people come here, they're looking for things. We've got awards because of coming here when they retire, come here if they're military, come here if you have a family. I think it's like come here, period. And I'm really happy because the people who come here want to be here, and we really encourage them to be a part of the city, and we welcome them.
Yeah, and pick up on that point. The Christopher Scone, our mayor, several weeks ago at the State of the City out at the new West Park High School, mentioned more than a dozen things of why Roseville makes us great. And she saved this last one till the very end. She said, what makes this community great are the people. And I believe we've highlighted this logo of ours now. We are Roseville. You'll see it all over the place. But she said that was the most important part of Roseville is the people.
Yeah, absolutely. From our person who collects our trash to people who are paving our roads, to the residents who come and become some of our volunteers at the city, or come on some of the commissions. These are our people of Roseville, people who call in because they saw something and wanted to help us get it fixed. Everybody in Roseville we are Roseville, and that's what makes us a city. We're connected and we care about each other.
Yeah, you mentioned utilities already, but because we are a full service city, we have our own trucks and vehicles and personnel, and they offer that to the community, don't they? At several times throughout the year, where kids, adults can come and hit the horn of the garbage truck or the fire truck or whatever.
Yeah, it's really cute. I've seen it downtown Roseville and at some of our parks. We had it actually in Mahaney a few months ago, and we're talking all kinds of trucks and heavy equipment, and those kids are like climbing in it and taking pictures, and people can ask questions. We also not only have the big truck days, but we also have open houses at our water treatment centers, our different departments that we have, that you can come and tour and see what it looks like. How do you make your water clean? How do you make Roseville work? And I think that's exciting.
Yeah, thank you. Um, Endorsements are important. They're not the only thing, but they're important. So why don't you just let us know who's your main players endorsing you for this election?
I would have to say it's actually my community. It's my mayor, my vice mayor that I work with, uh, two of my council members, there's planning commissioners, there's board members, there's community residents that are leaders in their community, in my district. Um, many, many people in my district, and also they're all local. They're not far away. I think one council member in Rockland is supporting me, but all these other people are literally Roseville. I also have endorsements from the police and fire associations. I have it for the small builders and our small labor unions, the business members. I also have the Chamber of Commerce for both Roseville and Sacramento, and many, many groups. I know it failed to say I was really honored to have Congressman McClintock's endorsement and Assemblyman Kiley's endorsement. So people that I've worked with all these years, working on my specific plans, working on the community, trying to make and keeping Roseville the great city that our community is.
Yeah, you forgot Bonnie Gore,
Oh, man.
our county supervisor, in District 1, which covers
Bonnie, I'm
most
sorry.
which covers most of District 2 here in Roseville. And she's actually lives just a few blocks from our house here in the middle of Roseville. So
Yeah, because we do a lot with the county, and a lot of times we're on committees with them, and I am on our landfill board with Bonnie.
well, thank you, Pauline. I'm sure the people are going to be viewing this in the near future. They better before the next 2 weeks with the election. Will be interested in these answers. Thank you very much for being here with us. And I'm Richard Ricucci, producer and director of this event and this video, and my cameraman is Carson Beeler behind that lens. And thank you for viewing.
Our grandson.
Yeah, thank you for viewing.